Like,
Yes,
for example,
we always do.
Hold on. Buccal, I don't know how to pronounce
Buccal fat removal.
buccal fat removal,
Buccal.
whatever the fuck it's called.
Buccal.
Women do that shit
What
for
is that?
other women.
It's like-
That's
Men
where
don't like that fucking look. It's
right
fucking
here?
terrible.
No, it's any of the fat in the face.
Lip
that,
filler. Men don't like that. There's a lot of things women do
Basta.
that men don't.
Aspetta. Hold on.
Rate your looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7. Starting with you. Go ahead.
I probably give myself probably a 6.
Okay. What about you?
In the age 53.
Into the mics,
In the age
please.
53 category, we're going to go a strong 8.
Okay. What about you?
10.
Okay. What about you? Bro, you know your turn's about to be fuck. Oh my God, bro.
I don't.
$5.5.
Like a 6.
Like an 8.
8.
8.
Why don't Oh, sorry. I was a bit premature there. Cue the jokes. I give myself a 5. Why don't average women, why don't they just consider themselves average? That's always confused me, but okay.
Okay, who are you referring to?
Like almost everybody who rated themselves like more than a 6 or a 7.
Right.
Can I comment?
Sure, go ahead.
I've watched quite a bit of these when they rate themselves, and when the girls say 10, they always get flack. But I just feel like you're always going to be ugly to someone. You're always going to be beautiful to someone. And if you truly value how you were made, then you don't really need anybody to validate, because everybody in their own way is a 10. Like, you may have not the most appealing face to somebody, but if your character is amazing, that makes you a 10. If your character is garbage, but you look pretty, that may make you lower. So it's relative.
If the framework and foundation for the question is not just strictly about me, and it's about, okay, some self-assessment of what you think other people might assess you as and what the truth actually is, then
But the truth is relative to who's saying it, because if a man loves long blonde hair, they're going to think a long blonde hair is a 10 over someone who has long brown hair.
with long blonde hair who are like all not 10s.
I was
That's not
just
like the sole determinant.
I understand where she's
But
coming from,
I'm
though.
just making an example. Like, depending on what your preferences are, what you're attracted to, that's going to determine if you think someone is beautiful or not. If you think they're a 5 versus someone who strictly likes Latino women are going to think maybe black women are 1s. It literally is just
The best way
relative.
to do this controlled experiment is for
Yeah.
Brian to put up what he believes to be a 10, and then we can rate ourselves against that.
Is that basically?
So,
Well, I think
Brian,
that-
what is
Basically.
average to you, Brian? Because you always ask that, but you ask on a scale of 1 to 10. Well, which one is average?
5 would be average.
5 is average, the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
I think that, like, say if we were to rate each other, every single person would
Scoot your mic
give
this way. Go ahead.
every single person would give every person at this table different answers, most likely. Like, we're not all going to agree on something.
And you could average it out and come to some
Sure,
sort of-
but then if you ask a group of 10 different people, like, my point
what's
is,
an average
But-
10 for you?
if
But-
you were to ask, I'm sorry, go on.
Well, the amount of people there you referenced 10 is very low. But if you do 100,000, for example, if this
Sure.
was even possible, you don't think there'd be any patterns?
No, I mean, I'm sure that there would be, but I just do not think that there would ever be a uniform answer. And I think that this goes to show.
Well, hold on.
Yes.
So I agree that like one person might say, like there's outliers, right? So somebody could say this person is like a 7 and somebody else might say that person's a 3. Can I ask you a question though?
Sure.
If I were to ask all the women in the United States if they think Donald Trump is more physically attractive than like Brad Pitt when he was 25, what do you think? Like, do you think it would be purely subjective? It's purely subjective that there wouldn't be any sort of.
This is wrong.
Okay, that's great. You don't think that there would be any sort of consensus?
Well, I'm sure that there would be. Like I said, I think that
What do
there
you think the consensus would be?
I think that people would probably say Brad Pitt is more attractive. And you know what? There probably would be exceptions, but I also think that if
Sure.
you were asked to rate Brad Pitt on a scale of 1 to 10, people would say different things. You can guess a range, sure, but all of this goes to show that if we are defining like objective beauty based on what the collective thinks and the collective cannot agree, sure you can find an average, sure you can guess. But the point is no one's like view is ever going to be objective. We can't come to a conclusion of what is most correct when it comes to something that like can't be quantified in any real way.
Well, I mean, so beauty, it's not objective in the strict philosophical sense, but it's not purely subjective either. So
Sure.
there are objective components to it.
Yeah, there are like beauty standards. There are, just things
Which
that
change depending on who you
Absolutely.
are and where
And
you
they're
are
controlled
and what
by
age you
people.
are.
Absolutely.
and who you're asking and all of the things.
where you ask these things. Like, I think that
Well, but even across cultures and time periods, there's still sort of generalized things that have always been deemed as attractive or beautiful. Things like symmetry, balance, these
Same
sorts
thing.
of things. Even across cultures, there are things that would just make, regardless of your race or whatever it is, would make you physically attractive in
Well,
any
symmetry.
culture.
sure, but
Yeah,
in
symmetry,
that,
yes.
in that case, is your argument that those are the only things that we can judge based on if we all agree upon them? Because otherwise, they don't really hold. It doesn't matter that we all agree because it doesn't hold any more weight than the things we disagree on.
And if you go back in time, like 60, 70, 80 years, the body of a woman that was considered beautiful and healthy is going to be completely different than the body of a woman who's completely healthy right now. Even if you go back to before the Kardashians, that beauty standard has changed drastically. And so,
Yeah.
Well, they paid to look like that too.
I mean,
They
that
didn't
is true.
look
Yeah, but
like
even
that in the
they-
beginning.
Even they are taking out all their plastics, well, not all of it, but they're taking out some of their plastic surgery. But I think it's like, yeah, it's the case that beauty standards change over time, but these are typically fairly small. For example, I don't think that for most of human history, obesity has been deemed to be attractive.
Incorrect.
Very
Obesity-
correct. Very correct.
No, there was absolutely periods in history, whether it be the Roman times, whether it be Old English times, where Zaftig, where having a plumpness denoted
Wealth.
wealth,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
riches.
you weren't
So they're
dying
attracted
of
to
the Black
that,
Plague.
not the actual. That's a representation of something
Right, and that's
else.
the look. So whether you were plump, you were fat. Am I wrong on this? There were various.
not
But
wrong.
hold on, but there were like, first off, back in that time, people weren't like you're talking about royalty and shit, like kings and queens and princes and
Have
princesses.
you ever seen the Queen Victoria, the meme that always goes around that she, like the men that killed themselves because they couldn't get her? Did you ever see her?
Yeah. Do you think that people were marrying back then, especially like the aristocracy or like royalty? They were marrying for looks, or they were marrying for like.
Habsburgs? Look at the Habsburg dynasty.
Right,
problem-
exactly. They
They're
were marrying.
inbred
Hold on, they
too
were
over
marrying
there.
for like some sort of political or diplomatic benefit.
Correct.
Right. It has nothing to do with the looks.
Okay, hold on. You very conveniently slide. You like almost gaslight from one topic into another, and you do this thing, and it's very, very slick. I've never seen it before. But damn, I
I'm
want to steal
literally-
that move.
I'm literally engaging with your argument.
Okay, but you do this thing where let's stick back to the topip. Were
I'm
there
engaging
times
in
in
the
history,
topic.
Brian? Were there times in history where obese women, chubby women, zaftig women were the it?
The beauty standard.
So I don't think we
like
have
the
like really good
Renaissance.
records among like, for example, so we can point to like aristocracy, royalty, and that, yeah, it could be like a better political match for you to go with this princess and she's fat as fuck, but she's like going to confer benefits to your family and survival. So that's 100% different than like, I don't know what the peasantry was doing, but I think on a base biological level, obesity is not like inherently something that's deemed
At
physically
different
attractive.
times, it was Brian because
Yeah,
of
you're looking to
famine.
the outlier.
No, and because of famine,
Different
there were.
times.
No, but
and
that
different
doesn't engage
locations
with my
as well.
conversation. Yeah, if you're a fucking
Brian, don't gaslight
stop.
me.
If you're okay, hold on. First off, if you're a starving peasant, you're not gonna, whether you're a man or a woman, you're probably not gonna be able to pair off in a marriage with a super wealthy like a super wealthy prince or princess.
Can the average guy
Princesses
looking at
and
a Kardashian pair off with a Kardashian? No,
You're
but
the
it's,
one
it's the
citing
beauty.
you're the one citing to historicity and like princes and princesses in the 1500s. What I'm talking about is you're saying, oh, well, it implies that they have wealth. Okay, the peasantry class didn't have access to wealth, period.
Your initial question is problematic because you said, why can't average looking people ever say they're average? So in your
Yes.
point of view,
Yes, this is a very average. Yeah, this is an average
so
panel.
in your point of view, that's in your opinion,
Right.
That this
Literally,
panel is
your
average.
opinion.
That's your opinion. So according
Okay,
to
sure, it's my
you,
opinion.
we should have all rated ourselves 5.
Thank you.
No, not all of you 5, but I'm saying generally speaking, maybe one of you is 1 or 2 points above.
Okay, but we
average.
can't pick 7. So
It's actually
like,
a great
I
point.
mean, and I think this
Okay,
is
tell me.
here's how I look at it.
No. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Which of the women here do you think is above average?
Not
All
fair.
of them?
Not fair.
I'm not doing that.
Don't do it.
Okay,
I'm not.
fine.
I'm not
How
doing
about
that.
this?
Here's my
stop,
philosophy.
Stop. Wait,
Here's
wait,
my
hold on.
philosophy.
No. Hold on.
My-
Stop.
Okay.
Do you think all the women here are above average?
Don't do it.
I'm not answering that.
Well, okay,
Because
you're
I
refusing
am
to
not.
engage.
Because
All right.
again,
Your
no, I'm
opinion's
not.
not the
I'm not
standard.
refusing to engage. I'm saying that just because when I said your question was problematic, my opinion doesn't matter. As long as I'm sure she is a 10 to her husband, and that's all that matters. She is a 10 to her fiance. That's all that matters. My teammate used to say, I may not be a 10, but I clean up well. And that is how I look at it. You might not call me a 10 on your personal pretty scale, and I'm okay with that because I ain't trying to do nothing with you on that level.
But if
right?
you give us the Brian prototype for 10, we will all measure ourselves against the perfect Brian prototype for 10.
Right, and I'm fine. And judging, and you know what? These girls that
yeah,
you
I
have
could do
sitting
something.
behind you, they're beautiful.
Give us
and
your
they're
prototype.
probably closer to the average 10 than I am,
Brian,
which is
what-
why they're sitting behind you, and that's okay. That's okay.
What's your
And
average
it's
10?
beautiful. They're both beautiful. I'm not gonna fight that. I don't
Okay,
need to
so
be
I'll give
a
you-
10
yeah,
on
I
your
could give
personal
you-
pretty
I
scale.
could give you a couple women who are.
Please do. Please give us.
Yeah, so I would say like, Megan Fox, and when she was younger, like
Absolutely.
20, when she was 20, whatever.
She's fine.
She's literally a fox.
Okay, everybody let him speak. Let him speak.
Like maybe like young Anna de Armas or whatever. A lot of people say she's very beautiful. So these are, perhaps women who a lot of people would consider a 10. So yeah, sure. Maybe Adriana Lima when she was young.
Beautiful, gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
So it's like,
question.
but I want to kind of dig in on the one woman who called herself a 10. You said you're a 10.
right.
Can you tell me another woman who you think is a 10?
Yeah, totally. Pam.
Everybody calm down. Everybody. Oh, Brian.
I'm sorry. No. I understand. I understand what you're about to say to me.
What am I about to say?
I am not. If we're trying to claim we're talking objectively and shit, I don't think that's possible. But I do genuinely believe that she is the most beautiful she's capable of being. I think that I do genuinely believe she's beautiful. This is not to be kind, right? I am not looking at her and thinking like, oh, I need to make her think she's pretty. That's not what's happening in my
Nick,
head.
pull up the Discord, please. The looks resources tab.
My opinion here is, first of all, you did not ask us what we think the majority of people would rate us. If you asked me that, I would answer something different.
I think it ought
Yeah.
to be the same thing.
No, I view
Those
myself
are two
differently.
Very different questions.
Everybody's
should
view
be-
is different.
Okay. Well,
Regardless.
what is I guess if that's true, then what is
I am so sad.
how does this manifest itself in entitlement? How does it manifest itself?
That's a good question.
I would love to.
That's a good question, though.
So,
How are you
wait,
going to
hold on.
correlate those two?
Now that is
Because-
a good question.
That's the crux of it. So, if somebody believes themselves to be something that they just are not, then they feel perhaps entitled to a caliber of person that, based on their looks or whatever other metrics they have, they will never get that person. I believe being realistic and pragmatic is better than being idealistic
Always.
and delusional.
Always. You're Syrian.
Yes.
Agreed.
My roots are Mediterranean, Sicilian, Italian, Syrian. I
What
had
does
that
that
nose.
have to-
I had that nose. I changed it. The
okay.
beauty ideal, the standard. Okay?
okay.
This to me is absolutely beautiful. It is all, no, it's all completely
Wait,
subjective.
hold on. If it's beautiful, why did you get a nose job? You've just
Because
defeated
for-
your own opinion. You've
and
just
I'm
No, I
looking,
understand
and I'm
that.
looking at her going, at the time, you know, I was being made fun of, this, that, and the other thing. I caved to a beauty standard. Did I make the right
People's
decision?
opinions.
Brian, you're not a woman. You don't have any idea what we go through. But I'm
Well,
looking
you don't
at,
want to hear my opinion on this. I think male beauty standards are harder to achieve than female
Oh,
beauty
that's
standards.
so. Everybody, hold on.
I'm
That-
fucking dead serious.
that-
Says it's harder for a man
right now,
to achieve the male aspirational
no
body type.
question. Case in point, you, no question. But here we have a situation. No, I'm teasing you, Brian. You're in sweats right now.
No, look. I'll give you an example. So if we look at celebrities, for
Can
example-
I just finish?
No.
with-
Let me respond to your thing now.
Okay.
So if we look at celebrities and we look at movie stars, actors, actresses, we look at them. You look at superhero movies. Superhero movies typically cast the top tier celebrities that we have, and we know that when it comes to Hollywood, when it comes to movies, looks are so important. If we look though in terms of achievability between male superheroes versus female superheroes, it's way harder to achieve the male aspirational body type than it is to achieve the female aspirational body type.
Who said?
As depicted
Who,
in
who said?
Okay, you look at like female superheroes, Scarlett Johansson or whatever. You just need to like diet and maybe do some Pilates classes. If you want to, if you want to have what's it, Chris Hemsworth? Is that the guy who plays Thor? You literally need to do steroids. You want to be Wolverine? He does steroids. They all do steroids.
Brian, this is
You
so
need to-
subjective to your genetics. I mean,
It's,
diet
no,
and-
it's literally true. These guys, and also they treat the gym like a full-time job, and it takes years and years to achieve that kind of physique as a man. Literally, 18-year-old women have better, like naturally, without fucking doing fuck all, have better bodies than like female depictions in female aspirational body types.
this is so
depicted.
apples to oranges. Like I hear you.
It's literally true.
It's absolutely. The amount of women that have that ideal genetic type, like
More women have that body type than men do.
I also would love to
Am
chime
I
in here.
wrong?
Real quick, I don't think that superheroes are the best example. Superheroes are not made to be the most attractive they're capable of being. I think that a good majority of women don't want super buff men.
Okay.
This is like something that this
Regular
is like a
body.
huge thing. Women don't want super buff men. The reason that we're
I
seeing
care
that
about
in
the
superheroes,
size down there.
the reason that we're seeing this in
Thank you for
superhero
your
movies
contribution there.
is because male superheroes, their idea is to be this like, inspirational thing for young boys. They're like this cool character that does good, cool things, right? And then women are kind of put on the screen to be like sexy, They serve different purposes in film because of misogyny, but it is not
Whoa, hold
because.
on. Well, now we're talking about two different things. We're
because-
Yes,
talking
we are, but I'm trying to
Wait,
explain
hold
to you
on.
why that
But we're
difference shows
talking-
up.
Hold on,
feeding-
but we're talking about the male gaze versus the female gaze.
Yes.
So, like, would you agree that women do certain things with their looks that appeals to the female gaze versus the male gaze? Like,
Yes.
for example,
We always do.
Hold on, buccal. I don't know how to pronounce
buckle fat removal.
it. Buccal fat removal,
Buckle.
whatever the fuck it's called.
Buckle.
Women do that shit for other women.
It's like-
That's
Men
where-
don't like that fucking look. It's fucking terrible.
No, it's any of the fat in the face.
Lip
that,
filler. Men don't like that. There's a lot of things women do
Basta.
that men don't.
Aspetta. Hold on. So any of the fat in here, the women have it removed so that they can look chiseled. We're all going to get there eventually, but they're removing the buccal fat, and now they look super chiseled. Who's the Hadid girl?
Gigi Hadid?
They all no, the other
Bella.
one. They all want to look like Bella, but the thing they don't realize is between your 20s and your 30s, the buccal fat dissipates. Like she has beautiful contour, like a beautiful face. How old are you?
Thank you. 20. I'll be 29.
Oh, both of you. Both of you.
her.
29, and how old are you? 19. So in the next 10 years, you guys will see that the face will thin out and the buccal fat will be gone. But I don't disagree with what you're saying, Brian, but we're comparing apples and oranges. I mean, men and women, superheroes.
Angry Feminist donated $200. I hate the rating question, because it shows how narcissistic and delulu women are. Stop making us look insane. You all fall for it because you are stubborn and need to be right, and you make us look stupid.
Look,
Wow.
you used to do real estate,
Your
right?
money, 'cause-
Just laugh.
Guys, stop. Fuck. If you're just fucking saying some bullshit prattle to each other, stop. Unless you're making some like palpable contribution or substantive conversation, stop with the fucking bickering with each other. Like I warned you multiple
Relax.
times. God damn.
Mom or dad?
You used to do real estate, right?
I've had a real estate license, but my father owned a lot of real estate. My husband and I own a
Yeah.
real estate portfolio.
And
It's
you would
different.
agree that the market dictates the cost of a house?
100%.
Right. So, for example, like let's say some like the market would say, well, this house, and you might agree that the market would say it's between the range of 400,000 and 600,000.
Correct.
Maybe that's a bit wide.
I was
Maybe
going to
it's-
say that, yeah, close the gap.
Maybe it's like 450 to 550, something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's still too much of a wide gap, right? What if the owner of the house, though, says, you know what? I don't give a fuck what the outside world is telling me. This house is worth $3 million, and I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to settle for anything less than $3 million. Is that house ever going to get sold?
Yes, because when the right person comes along, it will sell or it won't. But the day you buy a home, you put a for sale sign in the window, and eventually, if someone wants it, real estate, a home is an emotional. Real estate is an emotional purchase
You
to a
used
woman.
to do real estate. What? So just to be clear, have you represented a client and
I'm sorry, let's talk triple net leases. My father owned the Fuddruckers across from Hershey, the Hershey Medical Center.
okay,
let's talk triple net
cool, fucking
leases.
commercial properties, great.
You're saying
So-
I used to do real estate. What do you want to know?
Sure. Okay. You want to talk commercial real estate because you said triple N. Okay. Cool. we can
Triple
talk-
net. Do you know what a triple net lease
Yeah,
is? It's a-
NNN, triple N, triple net. Yeah. Same
no,
thing.
triple net. It's
Yeah. Triple N, triple net. Same thing.
what is it, Brian?
It's commercial leases.
But
Commercial property.
what does a triple net lease specifically denote?
Hold on,
There's
sticking
there's three nets to a triple net. It's the tenant pays the rent,
Utilities.
the taxes, and the improvements. That's a triple net lease, Brian.
Okay,
I
great.
did my father's 40-year
great.
triple net
So I
leases
have-
on
so
Fuddruckers.
if I have an office space and I say, and the market value for that office space is like $3,000 a month to rent the commercial space or whatever, but like here I am, some fucking landlord, and I'm like, you know what? This is the fucking, and it's actually in the slum or some shit. This is one day that, you know, oh my God, this property here. You know what? I'm gonna rent this out for $50,000 a month. But the market would say, no, it's worth $3,000. Is it ever going to get leased?
You can only do what the water level will bear, what the market will bear. You can only do what the water level will seek for the property, for the estate, for whatever it is. So there's a certain amount of emotional. Is it commercial? Is it your home? Women will buy, they'll pay more because women base real estate decisions on emotion. Brian, you don't like. I think you're pandering to your male audience here
I'm
to
not pandering
bury
to
us.
anybody. I'm not pandering to. So
I really would
hold
love
on,
to.
Hold on. I'll explain like this. So I agree that you can like price your property a little bit above market value and you might get a buyer. You might get a buyer, right? It's still going to be hard. Sometimes these people come out, they really like the property. Maybe there's something special, whatever. But like if the elevation to which you're asking for a property that would otherwise cost 1 million, the market value is 1 million, and you price it at 5 million, you did real estate. You must agree with me that if you've priced,
I can't because I have a perfect story to this.
if you've priced a property at 1 million, you're not going to get 5 million.